Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing fantastic. It's your boy Just Joe, the self-proclaimed hardest working man in the YouTube game. We're just waiting on Andrea. I think he's still coming. He said he's still there. I must have sent him the wrong link. He'll be here in a sec, hopefully. Obviously, we're going to be going through the latest Leeds United transfer news. Big up to anyone who's just been watching the FA Cup game and basically my head burning out as I was trying to post some on socials. We've got my main man, Andrea, with us here. Turns out I'm for sale and Andrea's getting a new deal. I can't hear you, bro. Yes, I can. Now I can. Yeah. How you doing, bro? All right?
Good. I got a new deal, so I'm happy now.
Yeah, new deal. I like your books in the background as well, by the way. Yeah. I like it, bro. I like what
I like. To change a bit the setup, you know.
Yeah, man. It's looking good. It's looking good. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start new deal or do you want to start for sale?
Oh, let's start with the new deal now. Happy. Let's start with the good good news, yeah. The good vibe. Yeah. Then we will change to the bittersweet one, you know.
Yeah, no. I think that's fair enough. Obviously, Archie Gray then announced earlier on today, mate. It took me by surprise, to be honest. I did think he would get a new deal at some point, but yeah, it was announced earlier on. I will share the official story with everyone while we talk about it. Let me just zoom in on it slightly, and I will share this now so people can see it. There we go. I'll tell you what, we'll put us to the side. There we go. That's better. So Gray has committed his future to the football club. Just while I'm on as well, folks, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Leeds United are delighted to announce Archie Gray has signed a new contract with the club. The 17-year-old signed his first professional contract last year and has now agreed fresh terms on a deal committing his long-term future to the club. It just shows, doesn't it, bro, how much of a good season he's had, that he signs his first professional contract last season, and then, or the start of the season, sorry, and now he's already got a new deal, man.
Absolutely. It shows you the improvement, the development that he had so far during the season, you know, and also the fact that we've seen links with the top clubs.
So many clubs.
So many clubs from the top tiers, you know, linked to him. So it's a great move. Professional timing, also great timing from the club. In order to time down with the club, and also it's a contract for me too in terms of that shows you the importance that he has in the squad right now. It would be an improvement also in terms of wages and all of that, you know, in terms of bonuses probably. Yeah. And it shows you that even if he's 17, he's an important and a crucial player in the squad. So absolutely, it shows you the timing. The club were quick to act about Gray, and absolutely it needed to be done as quick as possible. They did it. So well done to the transfer hierarchy. This is how you do things.
100%. And this is another thing I wanted us to touch on as well, Andrea. Like, we have to, and listen, I don't do this for like to create hysteria. If I feel like a situation's not good, I will say a situation's not good. Like I did in the previous regime. I did at the start of this window because I felt it was just a knock-on from the following regime. However, they're not creating hysteria. This is fantastic from the football club. And do you know what? We're already seeing the professional outfit that the football club is becoming, because not only are they doing things that they should be doing, but in terms of how you see the social media presence now as well, you can tell that this has gone up a level with the way that they reacted to Ailing leaving. They've even taken the time to put together something for Robert Snodgrass as well, which before none of this stuff happens, you know, no one's got their finger on the pulse. Whereas now we're seeing the right decisions being made, you know, even in the summer with regards to saying, Nonto, you're not going anywhere. You know, backing Farke, rightly, in my opinion, in every single situation that he's had to deal with. And this is just another positive spin from the 49ers and the football club at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It shows you what the change of ownership has done to the club in terms of the behind the scenes content. Even if it is social media or communication and media, just on the handling also of the transfer market, I'm glad you quoted the fact that they were very professional in handling the way Ayling left, because it shows you that they have brought improvements on and structure and professionalism to every level of the club. I really like how they handled the Ayling goodbye, the Ayling leaving. And also, nobody had a snitch about Gray renewing his contract, so top work, because if you work in a club, that's the best thing you want to do. Try to keep it under the carpet, till the last minute. So they acted really well, because nobody, even in the knows, even all the good and very, very skillful journalists you have in Leeds, of course, in Yorkshire, they didn't know. So absolutely, they kept it quiet, and here we are, 2028, Archie Gray.
Exactly. Just to go back to the article, it says Gray has been one of the first names on the team sheet under Leeds manager Farke after making his debut in the opening game of the campaign against Cardiff. Obviously, he was playing in midfield at the time. He's gone on to make a total of 28 appearances in all competitions, playing in both centre midfield at right back. Obviously, played more recently at Cardiff. He's played at international level, capped at under 15 up to under 19, having become the latest player to progress from the academy to the first team, following in the footsteps of many famous names down the years. The club are delighted Gray, a boyhood Leeds United supporter, has pledged his future to the Whites. Just while we're on that as well, I just want to quickly share the image that was doing the rounds earlier on that you also sent me as well, bro, which I thought was amazing. I'm just trying to find it now.
I'm trying not to be in the dark because I have a problem with this light. I'm trying to fix it.
Don't worry, you do what you need to do. Just to show you, just to show folks, if anyone hasn't seen this, obviously this is Archie and Sam now. However, that was Archie when he was a ball boy for Sam Byram. The mad thing is Sam Byram has not aged. That's the mad thing. Sam Byram has not aged. So I want whatever Sam Byram has for breakfast. But yeah, look at Archie with his hair there. It's so funny. But yeah, look, man, Archie is a Leeds fan. Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable picture.
Amazing,
it's Leeds. That picture, I wrote Leeds United in a picture because that picture is what Leeds is about, It's about 100%. The legacy of the Gray family. It's about all the players that we have throughout our history coming through the academy. Byram was the example for Gray back then, He was a young school kid, playing grassroots football, just a young kid, and he had a great day at Ellen Road with one of the local lads, Sam Byram. Now he's playing with him, so that picture should be hung on the wall, put on the wall, as you say.
For any young players wanting to come through,
with the glue. Let's bring out the glue and put that picture on the wall. For top us, for all the young players, Archie Gray was one of you. Now he's playing with Sam Byram, so that's the path you need to follow.
Archie Gray's done an interview with LUTV as well. Obviously, it's been put in written format for it as well. So just have a look at some of the things he said. So it feels amazing. It's another dream come true. Supporting Leeds and following the club my whole life, it is a dream come true. It means a lot to me and my family. The club trusts me and trusts my family, and hopefully I can repay it. It's amazing. After working really hard in pre-season, I was hoping to play a bit, but I didn't expect to be playing as much as I have been. Just shows the trust everyone has in me, and it means a lot to me. I think my game has developed a lot. The experience is invaluable. It's a physical leave, which has everything. The manager has helped me a lot this season, especially with positioning and little things, with what foot to pass to and what foot to receive within the right back position. He's helped me loads, and it's been really good so far. He says, look, we're creating something this season. We've worked really hard in pre-season and throughout the campaign to get momentum, and hopefully we can keep it going. Obviously, we want to get back to where we belong, but we're taking it game by game, and from there, we'll see where it takes. Special mention there for Daniel Farke as well. And this is where, for me, I wanted to have these both on the thumbnail, because there seems to be this general rhetoric that Farke's at fault for this situation with Charlie. It was for some way it's Farke's fault. However, we can see with the picture the new deal, it's had the adverse effect with Archie, and I think as well. Just moving on to Charlie, people say, "Oh, you're calling him out online and all that stuff," and people don't agree with it. And this isn't anyone in particular. Someone actually came and had a exchange with me on Twitter saying it's a disgrace how he's treating the young players, etc. And I'm a bit like, I don't know where it's coming from. But what I just want to say on Charlie is, only a couple of weeks ago, he was praising Charlie, and that avenue of my management, didn't work for Charlie. The next time around, he's criticising Charlie. Now, that could be a knock-on effect of what his dad did. And look, his dad's a footballer and probably should have known better, if I'm honest. He probably knew it won't go down well. But then again, it's his son. There's emotion attached to it. So I get it.
Yeah, sure.
But it does feel to me that he has tried different avenues with Charlie. And ultimately, it looks, and according to Baron Cross at Leeds Live, Leeds have started to now receive bids from clubs. Obviously, it's not going to reach the amount that we want, otherwise we would have probably heard more about it. But Baron Cross has been saying bids have come in. What is the difference between both? Is it just because Archie's an elite player? But we all thought that about Charlie as well, right?
Yeah, I think first of all, I rate Cresswell. I like Cresswell as a player. I think he still needs to develop. He still has a room for improvement. One is 10-1, the other one is 17. So of course, Gray had broke into the starting 11 at 17. Cresswell had that game against West Ham under Bielsa, and after that, of course, he was sent out on loan. So the two parts of these two young products of the academy are already different, because one went straight into the starting 11, the other one had some games in the Premier League, then was sent out on loan last season in order to build experience and gain, of course, to test himself into the Championship. The thing is, I think that every situation is different. Even the fact that someone says that Farke doesn't help developing young players is wrong for me. And Archie Gray is the example. He helped develop Archie Gray, and also Gray has praised him in his comments, after the renewal of the contract. So it's every situation should be judged on singly, on a single level. I think with Cresswell, the only problem is that we have two great centre backs, Pascal Struijk and Joe Rodon, that for the way they're playing, they are the two guaranteed starters. Of course, it can be argued that Cooper could he play ahead of Cooper, could he not play ahead of Cooper in terms of Cresswell and Cooper, of course. And now we have Ampadu playing as a centre back in the last two games. Of course, we've played against two teams that didn't press, us. So I want to see Ampadu if he keeps playing at centre back against teams that press and they have a physical striker up front, because those two traits were the two ones that caused him the most problems in Italy with Spezia and Venezia. With Cresswell, reading what Farke said, I think Charlie thinks he's at a level he's not yet. So the only way, but for me, it's an open door. It's not like the situation with Spence. Spence didn't act professionally. That's not the case with Cresswell. Cresswell, it's just a pure technical discourse, reflection, challenge. With Spence, it was different. With Spence, Farke said, I don't want him anymore because he didn't act professional. He didn't say it blatantly, but that's what he alluded to when he did the press conference. With Cresswell, it's an open door for me, because otherwise he would have been already gone if he didn't rate him. So it's up to the player, in order to. He was praised, of course. You said that he was praised by Farke.
He was, but people are saying that's now sort of like lying, and I'm a bit like,
no.
It's not. It's a different style. It's a different way of management, or at least trying to just give a different way of in the media, saying, oh, is that? Like, they do this, right? Like, this isn't not strange. That's not strange.
Yeah, well, I was wondering about that too earlier, but for me, things can change very quickly in football.
Yeah, this is true as well.
One week you can be the best player in training, and the next week you can be the worst player in training. Let's take Gruev as the example. He was barely playing. He was barely playing Gruev. Now after Peterborough and Cardiff, Farke cannot afford to play to keep him out of the starting 11 for me because of his performances. He had an opportunity after many games of just 2, 5, 10 minutes at best chances to play from the bench. He had an opportunity. He rised up to the opportunity, and now after the performance at Cardiff, can you keep him out of the starting 11? No, Cresswell just has to keep training. When the opportunity arrives, he can follow the same path as Gruev if he plays well, and if there's the opportunity, if Rodham or Struijk are unavailable, because Struijk and Rodham, for me, you cannot play without both of them. So if one is injured, like right now Struijk, if Cresswell is ready for me, he can have that opportunity. But it's up to Farke. We can have our own opinions, but in the end, Farke is a top patch every day. He sees the players every day. So it's the best one to judge, and I trust him. I trust his judgment. I rate Cresswell, but I trust the judgment of Farke. You can be both pro Cresswell in terms of rating the player and liking the player, but also being trusting the manager, because I think the manager, seeing what is done right now, of course he's stubborn sometimes, and we have seen that with Rotter and Pirot, interchanging. Look at us now with Rotter in 10 and Bamford in 9.
100%.
But he is the best manager to develop certain players. Look what he did with Gray, for example. Look how the system has developed recently, also with the signings they made in the summer. I think there's room for improvement, and the door is open for Cresswell. If we didn't rate him, he would have been already gone for me.
Yeah, I agree. And like, this was the bit like that he said previously in the past. This is what Daniel Farke had to say. I don't praise just the players who are on the pitch today, our centre-backs, but it's also good that we have players like Charlie Cresswell, for example. He makes sure that he trains each and every training session with top-class performance and top-class mentality, and he holds the pressure high, because the likes of Struijk, Joe Rodon, Cooper, they know, okay, we can't afford to play with 2% less concentration, otherwise there is a top. Now, of course, that there is maybe a way of saying to Cresswell out in the media, keep going, man, you'll get your opportunity, or it's a way of pushing him, motivating, and that's not worked. And then it's a different tack that's been taken by the manager of saying he's now moping around the place. His attitude needs to change, in effect. So I don't see that as like Farke's lying to us personally. No. I just see it's a different ways. But like Damar says, he feels he contradicts him. I'm not sure. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I back him, because let's not forget, people were willing in a blink of an eye to criticise Farke over his dealings with Spence, and then we find out what Spencer's behaved like, and it's a bit like, and again, as MK15 says, that was 4 months ago. 4 months ago. And like you said, a lot changes in 4 months. Believe me, 4 months ago, I don't know what month is that? August? What is it? Just September?
I think September, yeah.
September. And he's not got any game time since then, so his attitude naturally will have changed. That's a changing of opinion, right? Like, do you know what I mean?
And Joe, let's be honest, another thing, about Farke, that he doesn't want to develop. I've read all sorts of things, Farke doesn't want to develop Cresswell. He doesn't rate Cresswell. He's treating Cresswell unfairly. We're not a top patch, first. And second, remember, Farke had already arrived at the club when they offered the contract renewal to Cresswell. If we didn't rate him, they wouldn't have offered a contract renewal, and Cresswell, of course, he would have. He was given guarantees when he signed the contract renewal. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stayed. He would have asked for a move probably. And now we have two paths for me. Either, if the player wants to move, really, he tries to push for a move, but I don't think he will. I think he has the mentality, being a Leeds fan too, try to bounce back, try to gain back the confidence, and to challenge the two starting centre backs, and be at least in the matchday squad. First and foremost, that's the first step he needs to take. And after that, he can be, that will be the first signal. Farke is seeing that I'm improving. And now that I'm at the level he wants me to be, I can challenge Struijk and Rodan. That's the first step.
100%.
And I think he has the mentality and he's capable of doing that. Let's remember, he's not 17, he's not 16 anymore. Cresswell is 21. He played a full season in the Championship last season with Millwall. And you have to perform at Millwall. Of course, they're not like the hostile ground they used to be in the 90s or the 80s, you know. But there's a lot of pressure and a lot of passion in terms of the following about the players. So you have to perform. He was criticized at the start of the season at Millwall last season. Then he bounced back, got injured. Remember, Jer followed him a lot last season. He got injured, but he was one of the best players towards the end of the season when they missed the playoff last season. So he has the mentality to do that and be back in the matchday squad. Otherwise, the best move for us will be, if he wants to move, alone for me. Otherwise, I will stock our release into the ground. If they want to have him on a permanent, they have to pay the full price, because it's a value, it's an asset for us. He has a contract till 2027. So let's not undervalue that. Let's not deprice the value of the player. If they want the player, because there was a lot of rumors about interested parties last summer, they have to pay the full price. Sounded very Italian with this with this one, but
Yeah, no, you bang on, and Lee says just needs to stop sulking, because I think that's what Farke was getting on, was that it was almost bordering on sulking. But again, we don't. But I trust the manager. I back the manager, and whether that's right or wrong, I may prove to be wrong. Unambiguous says, big up, mate. He says, think Charlie deserves to be playing, not criticising Farke, but it would be fair of him to give him a run ourselves. This is the point, though, right? At what stage does he give him a run? Like, he hasn't given him a run against Peterborough because he feels that his attitude at that time, he was moping around the place. Otherwise, he plays for me. But outside of that, when really does he deserve to have played against Joe Rodon, or over Joe Rodon? Sorry, he hasn't. He hasn't deserved to play for me. Sean says, amazing what being part of the Gray dynasty will do for you. Will give you chances, unlike give over, man. What? So because he's a Gray, he's been Sean. Come on, man. Is that the rhetoric? Is that what? Because he's a Gray, he's given.
Totally.
Has been given a chance, but because he's a Cresswell. Come on, man. That's silly, Sean, man. That's silly, man. Come on. Surely you don't genuinely believe that. That sounds mad. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I respect everyone's opinion, but I disagree with what Sean said. Of course, he's entitled to have his own opinion, of course, but I disagree. I think that Gray, as a 17 years old, remember he was into the matchday squad when he was 16 in the Premier League too, before he got injured in pre-season. So I think if you just have to see how he plays, both at centre mid and as a right back on the pitch, to judge Gray. He will go, like Ragnar will say, he will go straight to the very top. When he spoke about Frank Lampard, you know, a man very loved whereabouts in Yorkshire. But yeah, I think Cresswell, as we said, he is a different player. Of course, they're not two similar players, because one is more creative, the other one is a unit. Basically, he's a very physical centre back. Also, is improved. I think, as we've seen in pre-season, he needs to improve still in terms of his passing, but in terms of duels and the physicality, is very good for me for the Championship. Of course, he needs to improve. I think we can say that those two are both two very good products of the Leeds United Academy at top pass. That we can all agree, I think.
Yeah, no, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Like, it is mad. Sorry, I was just reading a story there, but I do just want to continue on the Charlie news. Obviously, this was written by Beren Cross earlier on today, and you know, it's more than like I don't know if we can see that fully yet. Bids have been received by Leeds United for Charlie Cresswell as interest mounts in a permanent exit for the defender. Millwall are among several clubs who have sent formal offers to Ellen Road, but none are yet close to what the Whites want. Now, we're led to believe that we want somewhere close to 4 to 5 million, around that ballpark. I personally think that's a fair price for someone of Charlie Cresswell's level of ability. Do you think Leeds United will get that? Because I think at the end of the day, bro, if they don't, he'll be still here come February the 2nd.
I think so. I think we won't get it, honestly. This window, Millwall won't pay that price, of course.
No, Millwall definitely won't. No.
So otherwise, you'll have to sell to a direct rival for the playoffs or the automatics, and I don't think we're interested in doing that, because we will strengthen a direct contender. So either it settles for a mid-lower championship side, but can you see realistically a mid-lower championship side?
No,
paying that price right now? No. As we said, a lot can change by January the 31st, at the end of the month, and the day the transfer window closes. Especially towards the last day of the transfer window, a lot can change, as we know.
Yeah, 100%. And do you think then, if you're a betting man and you're going to go to the bookmakers and they say, will Charlie Cresswell be a Leeds United player by February? I think it's February the 2nd. The window shuts on February the 1st. But let's say by February, where do you put your money?
I think he's staying for me. I think I would say staying, because we will need, if he leaves, to bring in another centre-back. Either we take one on loan, but Premier League clubs give you players on loan if you play them at that stage in the winter. Of course, we had Jadon Anthony, for example, from Bournemouth. He's not playing consistently, but that is a different, topic, because those players that have been playing, if they want to send a player on loan in the winter transfer window, maybe one that had already a loan previously in the Championship. We've seen, for example, was the Scott Wine, for example, that went back to Burnley. Now he's moving to permanent, I think, to Bristol City, of course. But that's the example. There's other players, that who moved from a club, and in January they returned to their current club and then moved to another Championship side on loan. I don't think it's in the interest of a Premier League side to send a player who will not start and play games on loan to us. So I think we'll need to bring in another one. Of course, we were linked to Archie from RMB, but it looks like we're not interested anymore. So if you sell Cresswell or loan Cresswell out, you'll need earlier, not in the last day of the window, a replacement. And I don't think that's why I think he stays, because we don't have a replacement in the final days of the window. It will be a very fast one, and it can happen something similar to Jadon Anthony. We bring in another player, but maybe he's not a player that suits what we're looking at, our first, second, and third targets, and we bring in another player maybe in a swap deal.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, because the mad thing is, obviously we were linked with Chris Mepham, for example, but Chris Mepham's, not getting game time at Bournemouth, wants to get in the Wales squad. He's then not going to come to Leeds United to sit on the bench. Whoever comes in is going to be behind Joe Rodon or Pascal Stroud or even Ampadu now, you know what I mean? So it is going to be difficult, and Leeds United might just take the decision and say, do you know what? You're staying put. But what I will back Farke in as well is, you've only to look at the Nonto situation. As soon as he said, yeah, I'm here, he started to play again. And I'd imagine if Cresswell does get his head down, that we will start to see him in the matchday squad again. Because ultimately, I think, come the weekend, it's probably too early for Stroud, probably Cooper as well. So you would hope that he'll be on the bench. If he isn't on the bench, then again, we have to think, okay, he's not been doing it in training. So it'll be... it'll be interesting to see what Farke says on Thursday as well, or it might be Friday with us playing Sunday. We'll have to wait and see. Another position, mate, and this is coming from your neck of the woods. This is Dragowski. Yeah, so he continues to say that Leeds United are interested in him. He wants to leave Spezia, wants to move to England. Hull have been linked to many other clubs as well, but... Meslier, if Meslier departs, do we really think Meslier is going to depart? Do you see this being something that's genuine?
I've read a lot of reports today in Italy, very lot of reports about Dragowski, and they seem pretty sure, but I don't think that's the case, honestly, to be fair. They seem pretty sure that Drongowski is still the #1 target for the Leeds goalkeeping position if Meslier moves to Celta Vigo. But in England, there's no report about Meslier moving to Celta Vigo. I've checked Spain, and I haven't seen reports in Spanish about, or Galician, about Celta Vigo interested right now in concrete, at least in Meslier. Of course, the situation of Drongowski is that Spezia, they will need to. The main target is to lower the wage bill they have. They were relegated last season from Serie A. They have an American ownership, the Plate Group. They are constantly contested. They constantly they have constantly the fans against them now because they are in the relegation places in Serie B, so they face a second consecutive relegation. Drongowski has started in this season. He was one of the best goalkeepers for me in terms of saves last season in Serie A. So he's a very good goalkeeper. I've seen him play, I think, live 4 times.
Okay.
2 times in Spezia and 2 here in Reggio when they played here, Spezia. So basically, he got injured, missed 2 games by a muscular problem. And as he earns approximately 1 million on his salary, they are willing to sell him because they want to lower the wage bill. But he's a very good goalkeeper. He's always in the Poland squad. No, he wasn't recently because he was, of course, dropped by Spezia because they didn't want to play him because they want to sell him in January. So they're looking for buyers. I know for certain that the agent Kulesha wanted to move into England. So their links with Leeds were genuine. Those links were genuine. The other one right now seems to be Rennes in France. So I think if they don't get a goalkeeper, if they don't move him to England, because Hull City have got, I think, Pandur from Fortuna Sittard now too. I don't see us honestly selling Meslier to Celta Vigo right now. I think he'll move abroad. Otherwise, he'll have to move, for example, to Cardiff. For example, they have 2 average goalkeepers for me. Those are the sides. Cardiff, Stoke, all those sides. I think those are more viable for him.
Yeah, I don't see Meslier leaving, to be honest. I think he's still our goalkeeper. In the Premier League as well. I think the fact that Daniel Farke, and he's getting stick for saying this as well when he said, thank God that Meslier was back. Some are still using that as a stick to beat him with. But yeah, listen, I'm always going to, recently anyway, I think, yeah. Go on,
I'm really baffled, honestly, about this, because I just want to say, of course, everyone can criticize Farke, even when we were winning, I criticized him. I praised him for certain things and I criticized him for others on the final word. Like I was always against Pirot in the 10 and Potter in the 9. It was my leitmotiv, my constant recurring mention, in every match, because I didn't like that into our formation. But I'm really baffled to see people still trying to find a way to criticize Farke now that we've beat Birmingham 3-0. Peterborough, after many, many years of giant killings, we faced Sutton United, Rochdale, Crawley Town. We beat Peterborough 3-0 in the FA Cup, and now 3-0 away win, the best away performance of the season for me. Looking at the performance too, apart from the scoreline, apart from the score with Cardiff, and people are still criticizing Farke, saying he's not the man, he's not that. Of course, everyone can have his own opinion, but right now it's mental that we're looking the best shape we've been this season so far after these 3 games. The Cardiff performance was monumental, not just because of the score, but because it could have easily finished 5-0, 6-0 for me. If you look at all the chances we had with Rotter, with James had Bamford moved pretty well. I think the movement when they passed the ball, sprint into the spaces, it was very good overall on the pitch apart from the score. So I don't see honestly why there's still critics about the way Farke handles things, especially after what we learned about Spence too.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree wholeheartedly with you, mate. I can't lie to you.
But people can criticize, of course. It's a democracy, So everyone can have his own opinion. I'm not saying you have to agree with me or anything else to people in the chat, But everyone can have his own opinion, of course.
Yeah, No, I agree, mate, 100%. Don't forget to smash a like on the video anyway, folks. Subscribe, follow Andrea on Twitter as well. Just to finish up, mate, because like I say, it's been a quiet few news days, to be honest, from a Leeds United perspective. But obviously, we found out tonight Robert Snodgrass has retired from football. Played for Leeds United from 2008 to 2012. From Livingston, established himself as one of our better players in what was torrid time, really, during the Bates era and stuff. But what a player! Renowned for his technical ability, crossing, free kicks. You know, he was class. Do you know what I mean? Great crosser of the ball. Scored very important goals for Leeds United. I think he got most assists in one season as well. Helped us, obviously, League One playoff final. We know how that went, but then promotion back into the Championship. A top player. He made 168 appearances for Leeds, scored 41 goals. Before he left to go to Norwich, played for clubs like West Ham and West Brom, etc. And you know, one of my favourite memories for him, which it's tied with the Gary Speed one. I think we played Nottingham Forest, and on the 11th minute, we all clapped for Gary Speed, and almost instantly after, Robert Snodgrass scored a goal, and it felt like a goal from the gods. Yeah, it felt like a goal from the gods. So that's my favourite memory. But what a player, mate! What a player he was, man.
Yeah, absolutely. When I saw the news today, went to looking for those pictures, you know, those 4 moments, especially the one against Arsenal, you know, because of course in Italy we didn't get all the games back then. So we got the FA Cup games, and the Arsenal one with the penalty was brilliant. You know, they didn't have it was like playing at home at the Emirates with all those fans, you know, one of the many FA Cup fixtures against Arsenal in those years, you know. But yeah, what a player. You know, when I was the guest on Max, our common friend Max from Leeds lately, the Dream Team series, I placed him in the team, of course, and I called him basically the Rafinha of League One, the Rafinha of the Championship, because he really was the Rafinha of those days, you know, in terms of how he played, the creativity. Also the trickness, you know, sometimes, because he was how do you say, silky, when you say that a player is very clever in terms of his creativity, of smartness, you know, on the pitch, in terms of skills and tricks, you know. But yeah, he was a performer. He was a performer, but he also had the mentality. When I went to look at the pictures, you know, also a picture resurfaced on when we lost at Cardiff, when they had Craig Bellamy, Aaron Ramsey, I think too. There's Snodgrass face to face with Bellamy in that picture. So yeah, I remember. And unfortunately, he was one of the very good players of those days. You know, like Hausen, Vecchio, Bradley Johnson. That was every one of them was basically sold to Norwich, everyone. But you know, Bates and the GFH after him, they just wanted to cash in when we had good players. So unfortunately, we were reattached to those players because we had a great group of players in League One when we got promoted, and they could have took us to the Premier League. Because if you look at their careers, they played in the Premier League for many years.
Yeah, Max Gradle as well, Vecchio, you know, I agree completely, mate. Like, had Bates have backed Simon Grayson at that time, you know, we do get. I agree with you. We do get promoted because, like you say, he went and had a decent career in the Prem. He played at Hull City as well. Not forgetting. I've just been on social media, just looking at some images, and my good friend Oscar Marriott's posted one. Check this for one. This is a beauty. There he is, Oscar Marriott with Robert Snodgrass and Billy Painter.
Billy Painter.
Mad times. I love that. Look at Oscar there.
Painter moved to Doncaster after he played for us, or before? I don't remember.
Sure. No, it wasn't before. We got him.
Yeah, after. Yeah. I think after.
The mad thing is that we ended up with Billy Painter, and then his strike partner was Charlie Austin, and Charlie Austin went and smashed it, and we ended up signing Billy Painter. Which club were they at now, man? Oh man, I'm gonna have to. They were both at the same
remember
club.
Also my fellow Italian, despite he was South African born, Davide Somma. Do you remember him?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, top player.
Injury prone.
Swindon Town he was at. 45 goals, Billy Painter. during his time there, and then he came to Leeds United and got 3.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Billy Painter, Fede Bessone. We had to also it didn't work out for him. Schmeichel, McCartney, O'Brien. That in that season, when we got promoted from League One, it was not the best window. Let's be honest.
No.
McCormack too. Yeah.
Oh, McCormack, what a player, by the way. But yeah, he's had a great career though, right? To come over from Scotland and play for as many clubs as he has, it's great. And like you say, he has great memories, or we have great memories of Robert Snodgrass during that time for sure. But listen, folks, I think that's it. I think the streets will never forget Ramon Nunes. By the way, I think that's it. Like
West Ham.
So I think. There's nothing really else for us to cover. Damar keeps mentioning Barry Bannon. It almost feels like the Bradley Dack shout before.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Jason Crow. Wow, there's one. Steve Stone. Yeah, mad times. But yeah, definitely. But listen, folks, thanks for watching the Just Joe Football Show. It's been a busy day today. I need my bed. I can't lie to you. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell. Make sure you check out Andrea as well. Tomorrow's lunchtime Leeds, I'm not too sure because I've got my son with me and that, so I don't know whether that, but I will when I get back, wherever that is, or when I've got some free. It might be on the night, wait and see. But make sure you keep it locked in. I'm expecting over the next few days we might get an article from Phil here that will give us some more names who Leeds United might be close to, but we'll wait and see what that entails. Thanks as always for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, what's left of it anyway, and we'll see you in a bit, folks. Bye bye now.